the hotline with Evan and Kyle. Come on down. This week
we have added the extra O in the opening.
Opening.
Yeah. Welcome to Motion Design Hotline.
That would have done it.
The reason for that will become clear at some point. Maybe. We'll see. But I don't know if anyone's even really watching today anyway. So I think our current viewers are me on my browser window and on my phone.
Then this is for the people of the future who will end up watching this as an archival record for the process. When future civilizations dig up the hard drives, they'll know we were here. But yeah, so today on the show, we are continuing on from a bit that we did last time when we were on Adobe Live, in which we intimated that we would turn milk into money, which is kind of in keeping with our Mighty Morphin series that we usually do here on the pirate feed.
Yeah. Basically just transitioning a thing into another thing, which is a very common ask in animation and motion design.
Yeah.
And, this one sort of developed organically in conversation. So I guess we're doing it.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and of course, it's useful to work through the process. This is something that is not really appropriate for the Adobe Live feed, not because we get nasty on it, but because
it's boring.
Well, I don't know, boring. It's just it's more vegetables and less chocolate cake. So yum, yum, yum. Put this broccoli in your mouth. We're going to broccoli it up. So if you're interested in seeing how the process of working this stuff kind of goes, if you are in the motion design explainer video space, this will be for you. And if you're just motion design curious, then stick around and see if we can.
Also for you, you should eat vegetables too.
Yeah, everyone should eat your vegetables. So we're going between two concepts. Today's going to be a lot of pre-production stuff.
Which ultimately is what determines whether you're successful or not. Because you can make something look really cool, but if it doesn't mean anything, then what is the point? Then you're just making Michael Bay movies.
Sure, it does mean something. Michael Bay is saying something about America and the world and about Bad Boys.
Have you watched any of the Transformers movies?
Oh, yeah. There's a lot of stuff in there. There's a lot of symbolism. You saw the Transformer with the giant testicles, right? What is that if not a comment on America's dependence on oil? Truck nuts, Kyle. It's all it's maybe it's too metatextual for people. So
crucially, if you are watching us today live, which I think at least one or two other humans might be, let us know where you're watching from, what your deal is. Why would you choose to be doing this? But we are just going to be kind of like brainstorming, ideating, looking for references, maybe making some basic stuff today. We'll see where we get, but we're happy to have your input or any questions that you have along the way.
Hey, Theo's with us today.
Hey, what's up, Theo? And of course, in case on the off chance you're a new person, you can submit any questions about motion design stuff that you might want us to do on a future episode at motiondesignhotline.com. You can also find project files, previous episodes, and even sweet hats like the one right over Evan's shoulder.
Sure. Yeah, I can put that.
Yep. Look at that.
Sweet hat on my melon.
Hey. Look at all our friends in the chat here. I love it.
There we go. We got some Robot Anatomy fans. We got Antahu in here. And if you're a Robot Anatomy hater, we want to hear that too, obviously. I love when people hate on Robot Anatomy. Why would a robot even be shaped in this way? That's not how robots reproduce.
Why would they have lips?
Why anything? That's... I'm sure it's all explained in the something Allspark prequels that are, that, I don't know. There's probably a comic book that tells us why Transformers.
I'm not going to watch those.
Oh. Theo, right. You're in Detroit. You can tell us why the cars, how more cars are made. That would be great. I'm really interested in the Cars universe. I want to know where baby cars come from. Just let me know. If you know, let me know.
And you know what? I have to say, Theo, it feels really good to know that we are a positive alternative to like staring at the wall for an hour while you wait for the car service.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
All right, so let's get into it. Let's do the pre-pro on what is a transition, and we'll try to like. What you're going to see over the next hour is the sort of thing motion designers generally do over the course of 10 minutes. So taffy stretch, stretch.
Like I said, we'll see how far we get.
That's true.
So in the last episode, just in this pre-show banter, beginning of show banter, Evan said something about milk and money, and then I jokingly responded that we would literally do it on the next episode. So here we are. As I said, sort of the concept is that we're going to take some visual representation of milk and animate that into money of some kind. We'll see what that means. We haven't really done any pre-work so that you can kind of get it all as it happens here.
Yeah, we did no work for your benefit. Just keep that in mind.
But again, I know that we have a couple of very clever folks in the chat here, so feel free to chime in with your ideas as we're working through this. Evan, I sort of feel like, should we just start with like a kind of a brainstorming word cloud situation here and just see where that even gets us?
Let's do it. Let's fart the ideas out.
Yeah.
So we got
we're using Milanote here.
Yeah. Milanote, if you will.
Milanote, in case you are not familiar with it. You know what? Maybe I should, instead of those, I will make columns, and then we can kind of like come up with some different concepts for each of these, maybe different ways to represent it, and see where that gets us.
Okay. It's probably wise.
So let's just kind of start off with some, like word associations for each of these here. So at least for milk, like, we have some pretty standard things like a carton of milk, a glass of milk, a cow. My head immediately starts jumping to things like babies or, like a baby mother relationship. Every mammal, has that. Look at this. I mean, we could already make some like actual like representative interesting thing besides just a specific
that's true.
Maybe those could actually be good, is what I'm saying.
Wow, yeah. All mammals require milk. Wow, what an interesting thing that bonds us all together. All mammals require money.
Yeah.
If you'll notice, the cow, very poor, and therefore is enslaved. So think about that. Don't think about it too hard. So, yeah, okay. So you're thinking of milk, the product. Hold on, under cow, I'm going to write.
Because I need to do this for reasons.
Sure. Oh, yeah, you need an arrow.
Yeah.
Can you rotate arrows in this? Probably not.
Did. Well, this is an image of an arrow that I am rotating and cropping to make it into a thing. So look at that. Milk to money.
Flawless.
Yep. Okay, what are some other like milk associations? Cereal, pouring. Milk pours nicely because it's almost opaque but not quite. So it's got some nice like pour and splash stuff that you can do. A lot of those sort of classic like early high frame rate film and stuff are liquid splashing, but milk kind of jumps to my mind because you could see it a lot better than water.
Hold on.
Yeah, I see.
I'm gonna go ahead and write down
honey here, being suggested from this.
Hold on. What's
do the Nirvana album cover, but the baby is swimming toward the dollar bill in milk.
Jesus.
I volunteer as tribute to be that baby, but unfortunately I will wear a swimsuit.
Yeah. Just go jump in a pool,
Yep.
Now's the time.
We have a vote for milk is gross, which honestly is, not an unpopular opinion, and a lot of folks can't drink it. Like lactose intolerant. Milk is bad for a lot of the world's population.
Kyle, did you know milk is the official beverage of almost every American state?
I mean, that makes sense in a lot of ways.
Yeah. Don't think about that too much, folks. That is
Mhm.
definitely 100% dairy lobby making that happen.
Same reason that you eat eggs and bacon for breakfast. It's because those lobbies made it so.
Not me. I eat beans and sausage like a good boy.
Beans for breakfast is weird, unless you're doing Mexican breakfast, and then it makes sense. British style beans for breakfast, weird.
Yes. Yeah. Full English over here, man.
Mhm.
I got my big bowl of oatmeal. I got my big bowl of beans, and I slam them into my body.
Yeah, Theo, not a milk fan, but does like cheese.
There you go. I'm looking at the famous Got Milk ads, and how literally every celebrity is featured in these.
Which milk mustache?
Yeah, that's something.
Yep.
There's that brief period where milk attempted to be some kind of health food option because of the amount of protein, I guess.
Yeah, I feel like they're still working on that.
Mm-hmm. They're still working on it.
Dana, what is going on here? We are ideating, but also just being ourselves.
Just a couple of milk-fed Midwesterners out here.
I feel like all of you in the chat, we need to take an informal poll here of everyone's milk opinions. Are you pro milk or anti milk?
We don't have to take an informal poll. I can make a real poll.
No, you can't. Okay, what other word associations here? And in case you've never done this at the beginning of a project, like this seems a little silly, and some of these are definitely not going to be good ideas, but you kind of have to just get them out, and you never know what's going to take you somewhere. So, yeah. Oh man, yes is. And yes, Theo, we are indeed trying to milk an hour of content here. Yeah. Honestly, that's a good thing. So, like, you milk something, to stretch or extend. Which, see right there, like that. Maybe something a visual metaphor.
Yeah. So we want to make sure that things are splashing, stretching. Just like blorping all over the screen. That would be great.
Yeah. What other word associations? I don't think this is anywhere, but in Canada you buy your milk in bags, which
you have that option. Yep.
Yeah, I would consider strange. And it seems like it's just asking for catastrophe.
I don't know. You just jam a big straw in it and
yeah, so jugs, bags, cartons. Did I already say carton? What other? I mean, I feel like a carton is kind of the most iconic milk container. Is there any other kind of?
Well, usually we see it depicted in a glass, right? Usually it's a glass that's like sloshing from side to side, type of deal. Usually with a straw. For some reason, the color blue is affiliated with milk. I don't totally understand why. I'm going to assume it's because every milk logo. Oh, yes. Okay, that's right. You go to the Star Wars and A Clockwork Orange, two enjoyers of blue milk. Hop off down to Tatooine for a touch of the old ultraviolence. Hey there, Kyle.
I mean, if we're doing this, we're going to do it right here, Evan. Let's.
Oh no, it's that.
Get this going. Oh, there! It was there. Yeah.
Slurping that blue milk.
Yeah. I'm just gonna let that run for a while. This is a motion show, after all.
Yeah.
Okay. So, what other? No, whatever. Yes, a crate, a milk crate. Great bowl there. Which holds milk bottles, but also is a very otherwise useful thing. Milk, of course, used to be delivered by the milkman, we could say milk person now, but I don't know how much of a profession that really still is.
Yes, the famously promiscuous milk person.
Right, exactly. That dredges up all sorts of weird connotations there.
I do like a man in uniform, I guess, who goes door to door delivering bottles of milk to people. There was apparently this was a big deal, like everywhere, that people would just be on some kind of. It's one of the original subscription services. So
Yeah.
think about that.
Yeah.
Maybe that'll come back now that people love just slamming whole unpasteurized milk into their gobs. Maybe that'll be subscription model for unpasteurized lactose.
So Theo's making some comments here, which I like. Like milk crates would obviously you have like the cheap plastic ones, but there's probably like some cool vintage designs of milk crates as well, which that seems like a good cue to work with.
I want to say there's like a frothy latte situation that I think we've explored the hot milk side of the food.
Yeah, I mean, I like an espresso beverage all the time.
Yeah, Milkman is now Amazon deliverer.
Yeah.
Package
I was going to
man.
go somewhere a second ago here, and I lost it when I wrote this down.
The problem is that
vintage.
the Amazon.
Well, this is a bit dark and probably not where we want to go, but
Sure.
Milk cartons for a long time were like you would see pictures of
right, the ubiquitous missing person.
Right. But that is sort of I mean that's too dark an angle to take this, but it is sort of an interesting thought about like that was a way to convey information because it was such a regular fixture in people's homes.
Well, and if we're thinking about like the transitional element, milk carton on the side of the milk carton is an image. The image is the next thing that we're going to, right? That's a real window in a thing. Yeah. Or if there's supposed to be a narrator, their picture is on the side of the milk carton doing the narration, right?
Yeah, it's something. Like I don't think that we should show a missing child on there, but
no, but
you know, there's something there maybe.
Yeah. Now they're putting get rich quick ads on the side of milk cartons.
Probably.
Lost your money?
I think schools, like school lunch, is probably the main place to see milk cartons. All right, I'm kind of getting my fill of that GIF. I'm not getting rid of it, to be clear, but we're putting it up there.
Yeah, hold on. I'm just going to drag a different image of blue milk onto the timeline so that we can enjoy that.
Okay.
Thank you. There we go. Oh, did that actually do anything? I don't think it did. Let's see. Copy image. Paste image. Boop. Boop. Oh, that's not what I want. That's a picture of it. There we go. Boink. So this is bantha milk, so I don't know if that's helpful to you in any capacity.
I mean, not really.
Blue milk, also known as bantha milk, was a rich blue colored milk produced by female banthas. Sentients drank it and also used it in bantha butter, blue bantha buttermilk biscuits, blue milk cheese, blue milk custard, ice cream, and yogurt. So that's some useful information from the Wikipedia. Yeah.
So that did sort of, obviously we're being a little silly here, but that did make me think of like all the alternative kinds of milk that exist now.
Sure.
What do we have over here? You know, I mean, look at this. Honestly, we're being a little goofy too, but you know, there's probably a good idea in here.
That's the thing about brainstorming. At a certain point, you convince yourself there's got to be a good idea in somewhere.
Well, you also like you do this until you are kind of done with this, then you move to the other thing, and then you start seeing what actually connects.
That's true. I was going to say we should probably move on to money because I think we've hit all of the things about milk.
We've milked this enough.
Okay, so money
over here.
Yeah,
we did interestingly have. I mean, you probably didn't intend this when you grabbed Harrison Ford earlier, but like, there's a nice little circular. thing going on. Yeah.
Yeah. Brave of the Milk Council to not not make his mustache blue. Very brave. Harrison Ford looking good. Good for him. That's great. I'm glad Jeep is paying him to promote their Jeeps.
Well, you too could probably stay in pretty good shape into your older age if you were super rich and could afford all the things that help facilitate
Well,
good
yeah, if
health.
you had nothing to do but hang out on your ranch and
Yeah.
chill out, learn to fly a plane. I don't know.
Yeah.
I love stories of Harrison Ford, like, because he was a carpenter and drug dealer for his early time. So people are like, oh, yeah, Harrison Ford. I bought weed off that guy for a while. He's an actor? Oh, that's cool. So, yeah, money. We see it in coins, bills, gold bars. I don't know. I want to say that's it. Those are the forms of money we have.
Well, okay. So we've got like a stack of bills, a single bill,
Okay.
which can be a thing that can be flat or can roll up. You could have like a roll or a wad of bills. So
Right.
even if we're just going with like a traditional thing, you have several different ways to depict that already.
Right. You got your bill folds, you got your wallets, your money clips, just a just a bunch of crumpled 20s in your pocket.
Oh, I mean, honestly, crumpled is sort of an interesting thing. Getting pulling a couple things from the chat here. Obviously, like make it rain specifically has some particular connotations, but like seeing money rain down is a pretty common animation. I can picture at least 5 jump backs in my head that are exactly that. Shout out to Digital Juice.
I was going to say, it reminds me of one episode of our show in which we
did that too. Yep.
did that.
Yep.
It reminds me of 3 months ago when we did that on the program. Yeah. Sometimes with money is literally just graphs, like graphs of stonks going up.
Yeah.
I'm just going to go ahead and pull the stonks guy in here. That's a useful image.
Oh, Dana, I like that. It's like doing origami with a dollar bill. Could be a good thing. You could make a milk carton shape out of an origami dollar bill.
Ooh, yeah.
Let's see what else. I mean, obviously, money is a very broad topic and enables a lot. I think, we did some good like outside the box stuff with milk. We can do that too with money, but money's sort of like I don't know. It's almost so broad that it becomes harder to do these sort of second degree associations.
Sure. Okay, carton of milk, picture on the side of milk. We look at the picture. The picture is the picture on back of money. The circle is completed. The money is exchanged for milk carton. We're back in the loop again.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, origami seems like a really sort of fun thing. It is a little hard to do it justice directly in After Effects, but that doesn't mean that we need to. This could be a 3D project.
Yeah, we don't need to be cowards. Because in my mind, I don't know. I'm thinking about geometry, right? So at this point, we have these ideas. Actually, do we want more ideas under money? I feel like milk is way more robusto than money.
Yeah. Okay. So we do have a very important suggestion here, and I don't know. Can you do Milanote in not dark mode? Or in dark mode? I don't know. You have a view menu here.
How do we do that? Oh, wait. No, your browser would have to go in dark mode, and then I hit Milanote. Oh, then Milanote doesn't read dark mode.
Yeah.
I don't think.
Interesting. Well, sorry. Not my fault.
We didn't invent the program.
I feel like
Oh,
I
what
don't
if
know.
maybe the desktop app version would have it? Appearance.
That's what this is.
Color scheme. Oh, mine. Yeah. Go to the gear. Hold on. I'll just switch to my screen. There, my screen's dark mode. See?
Huh.
Yeah.
Well, where'd you find that?
So in the
Account
gear
settings, appearance. There we go. Okay.
Yeah.
And there's a little match system theme thing that I had turned on.
Ah.
There you go. All right. So we're there. We can stay on your screen.
But yeah, just burn your retinas some more. Yeah. That's how we do it. Hey, remember that time I turned on light mode in After Effects and hurt everybody? That was a fun time. These monitors are too powerful now. That's what I've learned. We don't have a lot of verbs around money.
Yeah. Okay. So like payment, wages. We already have like bartering and trading up here. These all kind of like go together. Let me put this up here.
Yeah.
What else sort of
it's
makes
hard
sense?
Not to do anything like action-y with money without actually getting hands involved.
Yeah.
Into piggy bank. That's something.
Yeah. Which you found a while ago there.
Yeah, visually we have that smiling pig taking your money. Somehow the pig doesn't know that once it has enough coins in it, it'll be killed. But, that's a thing that pigs don't know.
There's definitely no metaphor there.
No, it doesn't mean anything. Nothing means anything.
Greed. Dana coming in strong.
Just going to go ahead and grab Gordon Gekko real quick for this. This is a certain kind of suspendered gentleman drinking milk.
Yeah. And yeah, I mean, I think themes about greed, not topical at all.
No, has nothing to do with contemporary society. Yep. Ingots of gold. Who doesn't like a good ingot?
Yeah.
Get some bars, some stamped bars.
I think those qualify as gold bars, but I'll put ingots up here. Let's see.
But then we get into storage of like bank vault and safe.
Fort Knox is the place here, at least, where they...
Oh, cash cow. That's something.
Oh, wow. Well done. That's, you know what? That gets its own thing right in the middle.
Yeah. I feel like we're doing that improv game where I say a word, you say a word, then we both try to say the same word.
And the audience is yelling out suggestions here. It's,
3, 2, 1, cash cow. Nailed it.
I'm going to take this milk picture and put it over here just so that we are kind of on a little more even footing here.
I mean, like milk money itself is already idiomatic.
Which, I mean, in itself is, would be like student lunch, is kind of where that goes in my head.
It's hard not to talk about milk money without people getting bullied for their milk money.
Yeah, true.
An ubiquitous upside down shaking of the pants. That's the universal extraction of milk money.
But I mean, again, like, especially if we're, going any sort of like social commentary route, like I feel like there's some pretty good parallels there.
Yeah, Macduff's money swimming pool,
which,
by the way, would have killed Scrooge as soon as he hits the surface of the pile of gold, right? He would... His broken remains in the bottom of the vault.
DuckTales, woo.
Yeah. What is that? There's a stranger right behind you.
I think Theo is heading out. Glad that your truck is back in working order. Thanks for hanging out, Theo.
Sweet.
Oh yeah. The empty pockets thing.
Burper.
Yeah. So, empty pockets, inside out. Also this sort of like wallet with a fly coming out, that very cartoony. Um, which I mean, these both like lack of money
Sure.
as sort of a heading here.
Right. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's the antithesis. I don't know what lack of milk
What's
was.
another good the cartoon thing where they're slicing one bean?
Yes. Yeah. That's the Scrooge story, I think, right?
Yeah,
Or maybe not. Maybe that was just Depression era Mickey and Donald.
I think it's that. Yeah, that I think that got used a couple times, um, which we definitely leaned into for our winter bean episodes,
Right.
other things.
Hmm. Winter bean.
That's a spin-off reference, folks.
Yeah, it'd be tough to really get into what winter bean is. There's a lot of layers removed before we can get there. Okay.
um, I mean, hey, there's some stuff here. I'm gonna put this over here in this one. I like these as solid, like middle ground thingies.
Hmm.
Um, hmm. Um,
There's that scene from Swingers in which Vince Vaughn just tells people their money.
um, you know what? Gambling.
Yeah, gambling. There's a lot of association there. Poker
Yep.
chips. That's a form of currency.
Yep. Yep.
The thin cylinder really means currency.
It does. Yeah. Even as a representation of it.
Yeah.
Tokens and chips, those are all sort of like money substitutes.
Yeah. That's what Monopoly is missing. Some kind of poker chip situation.
Hmm.
Not enough gambling in Monopoly.
Well, I mean, I feel like this has been some good ideation here,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna look for a few other images for some of these. Like this was kind of what I was envisioning, that slow motion, high speed photography sort of
Oh, right.
splash. Um, I don't know if I'll find milk specifically, but maybe. Yep. Okay. Great. And pouring. Um, yeah. Things splashing into milk. These are all sort of that guy, and just it's kind of a little visual inspiration. I do like this high contrast that this creates.
Hmm.
Although they're probably pouring watered down glue here than actual milk, if I had to guess. But food photography is a whole weird sub thing in itself.
Real subgenre of thing.
Hmm.
Don't I usually have a tablet around here? I have no idea where things are anymore.
I do. I actually have. I have this. I buy these little notepads. They're super cheap, and they're like pretty close to being 16:9.
Oh,
And then I can just kind of like do one at a time and play with them on my desk and rearrange stuff and throw one away.
hmm.
I like that. I don't know if we need it, but it's here ready if we do.
Whoa. I haven't opened Illustrator in a while. That splash screen artwork is creepy.
Hmm.
In a way that I assure you is good.
Um,
Yes.
I think, Ivan, are you suggesting like sort of a time is money
Oh, yeah.
sort of thing there? Maybe that's which is pushing us into another metaphor,
Time is milk.
but that also feels very very Gordon Gecko there.
Time is milk.
And time is milk.
You know what we say around here? Time is milk. Why do we say that? Because we're insane, is why. That's the long and the short of it.
Are you planning to sort of do some Illustrator sketching here, or what's?
Yeah, that's what I was doing.
Okay.
So I've been cracking that open.
While you do that, I'm going to poke around at a couple of, I don't know. I have a few tabs of 3D searches that I was doing,
Okay.
because I think those could maybe provide some interesting stuff as well. And I don't know. So we'll just kind of have some other objects to look at too. So I'll kind of populate some of that while you're
Hey, it's nice to look at objects.
yeah.
Uh,
Ooh, a vintage milk can. That's a great piece of iconography.
Milk can. Oh yeah, okay. I'm with you.
Somehow neither of us actually landed on, like we said, cows, but like the actual act of milking a cow.
Yeah,
um,
because I think I never want to animate that.
I mean, I agree. Um,
Sorry, no gross ideas in brainstorming. I forgot our old adage: there are no gross ideas in brainstorming. Just get some hands right up on there. Everything will be good. Okay, hold on. We're just gonna go ahead and.
just making us a glass here.
Yeah, that's what I was
Mm-hmm.
thinking. Yeah. That's not how glass works, but we'll figure it out.
Boy, there's some weird stuff on Sketchfab.
No. No.
Believe it or not. Yep.
I won't brook this. This is unconscionable. How could it be that there's absolutely unhinged stuff on Sketchfab?
Oh, hey, milk and cookies.
Oh yeah, that's a thing.
Yeah. I don't know why that didn't come up. Let's see. Nice. Okay. I'm finding some good iconography here. Here's an interesting sort of like a dollhouse made out of a milk carton situation.
Hold on, let me make sure your screen is up so people can enjoy this.
Yeah.
All right.
A cardboard milk house. Thank you, Capitan Darren. It is sort of a fun idea. Not for this project, but I'm not sad that I saw it.
That's good. This is better than usual. Yeah.
I don't know why a grenade launcher has anything to do with this, but
I mean, why anything? One cannot know why the stuff.
I have to tell you that the process of looking for references is definitely more interesting when you're sort of like joking along with someone the whole way. So I guess maybe try that when you're looking for references.
Yeah, just call up a friend and make a lot of jokes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think that's one things that we kind of miss out on from not having offices and stuff anymore. That's the one thing.
Obviously we're being silly here, but like there is a lot of value, and you can see even just from what we were doing here, like how much of this came from sort of like bouncing things back and forth, and you folks in the chat throwing out ideas. Like there's a lot of value to having other humans involved when you're ideating. Sometimes it's really hard to do that totally by yourself.
Yeah, the human does not like to do the thing alone.
How's your Illustrator glass going over there?
Oh, it's just going. We cut back to the Evan screen.
Oh, there you go.
Clunk. I just realized this pile of money looks like a pile of cookie. So there's that.
Yeah. Well, and just my motion design brain looking at this, like going from cylinder to cylinder would be pretty easy.
Yeah.
So that's a very doable route.
Yeah, there's not much to say there. Cone to cylinder, nailed it.
But like turning that into a loop would be sort of interesting. You could go from, the glass into the flat cylinder, and then a couple of them fall down or something. And then you could make it into a loop by having the coins fall, and that becomes like the milk filling up the glass. And, that's a thing.
Yep.
It's not the most meaningful thing, but it's absolutely like an animation loop that could be visually interesting.
Yeah, coin turns into glass. Glass is filled with liquid slosh. Then we just pivot the pivot the perspective. Now it's a circle. Now it's a cylinder. Now there's more coins that fall down. Clink, clink, clink. The loop is complete.
Yep.
That would
I mean, that's not a bad idea.
yeah.
Um,
Okay, I should think. So that's if we're thinking roundedly,
mhm.
or at least that's how my mind is working roundedly. So if I'm thinking round,
Let's get some corners.
yeah, let's get some. Had enough of these roundy things.
I mean, sort of just going based off of shapes like that. I
Yeah.
mean, a milk carton to like a stack of dollar bills is sort of similarly, I think, pretty. I mean, I don't want to use the word obvious in too bad a way. Sometimes obvious is good when you need your viewers to be able to see exactly what is happening, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Obvious is not a bad thing.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's maybe something that gets overlooked is like, too clever by half. So.
Right. Sometimes obvious is good because you need people to be able to read that thing very quickly.
Yeah. As we may say, like A to C level thinking. Like it's good to be clever in some contexts, but in other contexts, it's like what is the connection?
Just do the thing.
Yeah. Hey, what if we weren't trying to be the smartest kids in the room, and, and instead realize that the audience is busy. They don't always have time for this.
A milk carton also is pretty close to the shape of a traditional house.
Yeah, or barn. Like I find this looking very barn adjacent.
There you go.
So I'm trying to think of like how skeuomorphic.
Yeah, that little inset bit.
Oh, not like that though. Yeah, I don't know. Something because it's folded, right? Like that's
I mean, I think for sketches that's plenty. I believe.
There we go.
Done.
Oh. Crushed it. Another one in the bag. Yeah, maybe something like that. Okay.
And of course, our wad of dollar bills, like, because it's going to be more horizontal, probably. I mean, you could do it sort of straight on, kind of like this. But yeah, it presents some opportunities for turning in a few different directions.
And then there's the other question of like, well, if we're going from the one thing to the other thing, like, is the action that this is tipping over and spilling, and then this is becoming money? Like, we don't have a lot of context about why we're going from from milk to money. Like, if we're talking about food waste, for example, it would make sense that the carton falls over, it spills milk, then it transforms into money, right? That's the thing that would make sense.
Yeah. I mean, this is kind of the almost the handicap of doing these ideas like this that are unconnected to any larger project. We don't have a meaning attached to it. So we're making one up.
Yeah, so I want to go milk cartons. Milk packaging around the world. Oh, it's a forum. That's going to be unhelpful to me. Like, I want to see what milk box looks like in different countries, I think.
Okay, yeah, you do. I associate it more with like alternative milks, but that sort of rectangular carton without the little triangle top.
I accept your cookies. I don't sign in. Milk innovation around the world. Okay, that's... Yeah, okay, here we go. This has some... Let's see. If you go to tools on your Google Images and you can say size of this, and let's go with large.
Give me the big ones.
Only the bigger one. Yeah, okay. Like here is a kind of bottle of milk. That's an
Yeah.
interesting. I'm not
Probably
familiar with
for
that.
kids.
Yeah,
Yep.
kids, because kids
Yep.
aren't good with paper. It's very
Yeah. Well,
confusing for their
and it's a
minds.
smaller amount. You want them to be able to open it easily.
See, this is a nice milk package, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Bring
That's a
that
good,
into Millinote.
that's a good bit of business here. Copy to image. Bring it to Millinote. Paste it to image. Boop. This creature satisfies both carton and cow, so hats off to them. Pour it, cap it, bin it. Yeah, a lot of cylindrical objects. I don't know if you have. Do you have Fairlife where you're at?
Yeah.
This is a very distinctive shape, which pretty much tells me this is not actually milk. So that's what the symbology. Like for whatever reason, this is telling me this is not what you think it is.
I mean, Fairlife is that just lactose free? Maybe I think.
Yeah, but they also do like high protein. Maybe they do extra lactose in some of them. I don't know. Here's the old Canadian.
If you're taking it out, you got to put it somewhere, right?
Yeah. What are you doing with that lactose, guys? Come on. So yeah, this is the Canadian bag of milk, which people are maybe not super familiar with around the world. Yeah, nothing like hermetically sealed hot plastic around your dairy to really make you want to enjoy it more.
I feel like purchasing bagged milk would create a great deal of anxiety for me. We specifically had, like, my mom's car when I was younger had a jug of milk spill or leak in the trunk.
Okay, yeah.
And that never goes away.
Yeah, that's something you smell in your dreams. That'll haunt you. I see what you mean by the artificials milks, or the vegetable milks.
Yeah.
I mean,
there's a lot of them.
Yeah. The milk jug shape. The ubiquitous missing people milks, if that helps. If people don't remember, people went missing a lot. And before the internet, we needed a way to get that information.
Yep.
Yeah. Not just in police procedurals. Yeah. Okay.
I mean, there's a milk jug right there.
This one, yeah.
Is that the shape you were after?
This one with like the handle. This is a hard. If a client said, "I want this," I'd say, "Look, that's kind of a hard piece of geometry to make work."
Yeah.
For what
Can we
we're
put
doing.
it in a carton?
Well, I'm just thinking. I'm thinking sort of copy link, copy image, paste, put somewhere. Like if that was the shape we were going to go with, getting from this shape to anything else is not particularly smooth.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it is a weird shape. It's asymmetrical. You have this hole in it. It's got the kind of the wedges at the bottom. There's a lot going on there.
So unless the transition from it is less about the jug and more about like the milk is being poured and that turns into something,
Yeah.
which to be fair is a transition that any of these things could do, right? Like if we're just blorping the milk and the white glorp becomes the next scene, then it
Dana
doesn't really
believes
matter.
in us.
Yeah. Like that's just the thing about if that was the direction. Like it's got to be old-timey milk bottle guys. Like, all right, well, that's what's got to be.
Speaking of which, I don't know, since your screen's up, if you go all the way to the left and then down a bit, or on mine. So these are some of the 3D things that I found. I thought this old-timey milk can was is pretty cool. I mean, it's also a more intricate shape, but that brings up a lot of kind of, I mean, baggage isn't the right word, but like this tells a story a lot more than a milk carton does,
Yeah, that's specifically about a heritage milk product.
Yeah. And I mean, same thing, like this says a lot more than, than this does.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay. So if the narrative was something dairy industry change over time, like you would specifically be going from like this container, that container, that container, that container, and then, switch to money, up type of deal, right? Like that's or I assume, I don't know. It depends on what we're trying to, if this is an Adam Conover type factually thing, we're talking about the consolidation of the dairy industry and how the profit margins get slimmer and slimmer and the milk gets more poisonous. Probably what we're learning about that.
I thought we weren't going to go dark.
If you're a guy, look at home, if the milk is dark, you should probably stop drinking it. Unless it's specifically chocolate milk, in which case you go right ahead.
Okay, so
yeah,
I know a lot of this has been joking, and coming back up here, this is just a line of thought. Maybe it'll go somewhere, maybe it won't. How much of like making the milk a different color, even to the point of having it be, say, dark or black, what can you do to get, like, have it still read as milk, but be some very different color? Evan's making a weird face there, and I agree on some ways, but
even this one that you have in the 3D one that has a yellowish cast to it tells me that is bad.
Yeah, I agree. It does look unpleasant.
Any kind of yellow pussy appearance of the milk, right?
I agree. But so what if this was pink, like the super artificial looking strawberry milk, for example?
I'm still confounded that product exists.
But I agree, it's not my taste. But like, okay, so you open up this carton here, and then you pour it out, and it's like neon green.
Sure. Yeah. Well, then it's
which
all down
then becomes
to
the money, for example.
Yeah.
I'm kind of just talking, but
because then it's all down to viscosity and movement of that laminal flow. Is that the word? Laminal? Maybe.
Yeah, that's the correct word. Dana is suggesting that venom is made of black milk, which I think is pretty accurate. Maybe,
yeah, I
feel like venom's a little stickier than that, but maybe like condensed milk.
Laminar flow, the property of fluid particles and fluid dynamics to follow smooth paths in layers, with each layer moving smoothly past adjacent layers. I learned that glue can be made from milk, so that was my recent learnings. Casein glue. Ew. Grotesque. Okay, so... yeah, we got like a good 7 minutes before I got to hit the road. Yeah. So...
this has been some good ideation here. I think what we need to do is kind of decide what our direction is, but I do think that we came up with several potentiously. Boy, I hate that.
We came up with a lot of Pinteresting things today, folks.
A lot of potentially interesting things that have some good, like, metaphorical meanings. I think you and I probably need to decide which of these we want to go with, or if we each want to pick one and move forward with that. Nachi, sorry, I have no idea what that is, for I am not Brazilian, alas. Maybe you can enlighten us.
Let's see. It appears to be a kind of box-shaped mascot man who is extolling his height virtues.
Because is that a benefit of milk?
Yeah, it's a kind of PepsiCo product.
Why don't you share that with us?
Yeah, I'll just go ahead and get on the Evan's screen. So here we go. Here is the PepsiCo Emporio Brazil. We get to enjoy this creature. See, measuring their height. And here they are swinging on a rope. So they're very athletic. Very powerful. Oh, and here is a cow that's having a good time.
So is this kind of like the Brazilian version of Nesquik and the bunny?
Oh, I thought Milo was the Brazilian version of Nesquik. Chocolate milk to fuel the adventurous souls of South American kiddos.
Yeah.
Perfect. Hey, thanks, PepsiCo. Fortified with vitamins.
I mean, like that color scheme right there is almost verbatim Nesquik on the right, the yellow.
That's true. Toddy Pronto. Toady Pronto? What sound does two D's make? I don't know. Okay, so we're early in the weeds on some of this. Yeah, so what we're going to do is we're going to choose some form of direction and some kind of meaning behind our thing before next show, and the next show we'll actually do it.
Yeah,
so
and maybe we'll do two different ones, or maybe we'll collaborate on one. I think we'll kind of figure out what that needs to be.
Perfect. So there you go, folks. You saw how the sausage gets made, or in this case, how the milkshake brings all the designers to the yard. How
we squeeze the ideas out of the udder of our brains.
Yeah, our mind udders. So we bring the ideas forth. But yeah, that's kind of how it goes. So if anyone's kind of unfamiliar with sort of the process, or you're sort of confused, or like, oh, the ideas just aren't happening, this is how they happen. Unfortunately, this is sort of what the work looks like. So when you're stuck, it's not nothing, right? It's you work a process of some form, which, as you saw with a second person here, is a lot less insane making, right? Because you would just be doing this yourself.
And look, if we weren't wasting time on jokes and silly tangents and stuff, it would go faster. But that's also part of, I do think a couple of those led somewhere.
There's something here in this pile of, so like, yeah, I guess the important thing is, instead of staring at a blank page all the time, just start putting garbage out there, and eventually you create enough stuff that it will look like something, and then patterns will form. Like, the human brain, as explained to me, is a great tool at finding patterns, sometimes where no pattern exists. But when confronted with nothing, we are often panicked because there is nothing in which to make a pattern from. And so you simply need to start putting stuff out, and then, oh boy, now something is happening. I think maybe that's one of the appeals people have when it comes to like AI, that instead of being confronted with nothing, you can just type in words and it confronts you with something, and then you decide whether you like it or not. But with this process, we've at least arrived at directions we can now explore and refine, and we'll get better. And ultimately, we're going to make choices about what direction we want to go in. So that's, you know, if we had a script, we might be making better choices. But you know, like we've been saying this whole time, the lack of context kind of leaves you a little bit adrift. Sometimes.
But we will decide what that context is, because we get to make it up.
Bingo bango. Yeah.
And yes, you know, whether you do it on paper or a tool like Milanote, or I know Miro, and there's some other I'm forgetting some of the other names. And it's not publicly available yet, but Adobe is working on a thing called Concept that will enable a lot of this same kind of, you know, collaborative bulletin board sort of workflow. So whichever one works for you is great. We like Milanote.
Oh, and Kyle, look, my camera's become choppy again.
Oh, so, we've done this. Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Check this out. I'm going to show you guys what the solution is for this.
Pure Ref, another recommendation there.
There we go. The solution is to just switch over to the other camera.
Yeah. Evan's been having weird camera issues that's been a little hard to pin down lately. But interesting. It looks like it's killing me too. So that's something.
Oh, I don't know. No, you seem smoother. I don't know. It doesn't matter.
On the feed, it's killing my frame rate as well. So that's a data point. Anyway, let's end this show before your computer catches on fire, I guess.
The CPU is barely using 50% of its computing power. It's fine. It's fine. Oh, and this thing works totally fine too. So look at that. There we go. Backup camera achieved. Oh, sorry. The thing on the feed was not receiving enough data. So
Yeah. Okay.
that's a YouTube problem. It's having a problem. All right,
Interesting.
cool. We're gonna call it here. So we will see you next week at this place to continue on this madness, where we will do some actual After Effects work, and we'll see if we dip into other programs, 3D, etc. But until then, stay creative, be kind to each other. We will see you all around the internet. Goodbye.
Thanks for hanging out, folks. Thanks for the ideas, and enjoyed having you here. Take care.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Drink a cold glass of this one.